There's something wrong with my wife, and it scares me so much that I'm questioning everything I know. She has been my world for as long as I can remember. We've spent the last 16 years together, 6 years dating, and the last 10 as husband and wife. We've faced many challenges and heartaches, and through it all, she has been my rock and constant companion. But recently, I've started noticing small but accumulating issues that are creating a mounting sense of dread. Our relationship has always been strong. We've rarely had conflicts, and when we did, we worked through them. She has been there for me, especially after a traumatic experience that left me unable to engage in physical intimacy. She has respected my boundaries, never pressured me, and shown understanding and patience that deepen my love for her. She's done countless little things to show how much she cares, as she always listened when I needed to talk. I've tried to be as supportive of her as she has been of me. But recently, things have started to change. One incident that gave me a shock occurred on a seemingly ordinary day. We were out for a walk when we found an egg on the curb. Given that our neighbors keep chickens, we assumed the egg had rolled out from their yard. Without a second thought, my wife sat on the egg and refused to move. I didn't think much of it at first since the egg was unharmed. But when the egg rolled away down the sidewalk, she chased after it, acting like a chicken and even rolling on the ground. When she lost the egg, she laughed, saying it was funny, and that at least the neighbors wouldn't have to worry about another chicken. I was really confused since we could have simply returned the egg to our neighbors. I tried to brush it off, telling myself it was just a strange moment. But her reaction stuck with me. The casualness of her laughter and her amusement at the situation rattled me more than I wanted to admit. I told myself it was just an odd incident in an otherwise loving marriage. But I couldn't forget the way she laughed. It wasn't the laugh of someone who made a mistake. It was the laugh of someone who found genuine amusement in what had happened. Over time, I noticed more unsettling incidents. When my mother passed away in 2019, it was incredibly hard for me. We were very close, and it took me years to come to terms with her loss. I keep a bracelet that belonged to her on a table with family photos. It was handmade by her grandfather and was a tangible connection to her. One day, I noticed the bracelet was missing and panicked, searching the house for it. When I told my wife, she calmly said she had sold it. I was devastated, not angry, but deeply hurt, as if a part of my mother had been taken from me all over again. The next day, the bracelet was back on the table. When I asked her about it, she laughed and said, "You should have seen your face. It wasn't just the prank that upset me. It was that something so sentimental, tied to my grief, was used as a joke." It felt like my pain was just a game to her. The troubling behavior continued. One day, while we were gardening, she had been planting flowers in the heat and was clearly tired and irritable. I accidentally dropped my keys, and when she found them, she threw them at my face in frustration. The keys hit me and cut my nose. She immediately apologized, but then started laughing, an uncontrollable, almost maniacal laugh. I could see she felt bad, but the laughter was unsettling, as if she found the situation funny despite the injury she caused. In the days that followed, I found myself slipping into a deep sadness. I couldn't pinpoint a single cause, but it felt like the weight of these strange incidents was pressing down on me. Then one day, she played another prank, this time jumping out to scare me when I was already feeling particularly low. The scare pushed me over the edge, and I broke down completely, sobbing uncontrollably. She stood there laughing at first, but then simply walked away, leaving me on the floor crying for hours. It was after this that I stumbled upon something that changed everything. I was cleaning our room while she was at work, and as I was swapping the sheets, I found a journal buried beneath the mattress. It was my wife's diary. I wouldn't have looked inside if not for the words I glimpsed on the open page. The first line I read made my blood run cold. She had written about a day when she encountered a line of geese crossing the street. Instead of waiting, she decided to get out of the car and chase them, flapping her arms like wings and scaring the geese. She described how she believed geese were a useless species and that it didn't matter if a few got traumatized. I was horrified. This wasn't just a momentary lapse in judgment, it was a calculated act of cruelty. It made me question everything I thought I knew about her. Suddenly, all those little incidents I had brushed off seemed like pieces of a much darker puzzle. The woman I thought I knew so well, the woman I had spent the last 16 years of my life with, was capable of things I never imagined. The realization hit me hard. I had been trying to rationalize her behavior, convincing myself that these were just isolated incidents that didn't mean much. But now I couldn't ignore the truth staring me in the face. My wife, the woman I loved, had a side to her that I didn't understand, a side capable of cruelty, manipulation, and indifference to suffering. I love my wife, and I can't stress that enough. I recognize that sometimes her behavior is concerning and frightening. For the past 16 years, she has been my world. Our lives are so deeply intertwined, and our families are so connected that the thought of leaving her feels impossible. But I also can't ignore what I've seen and read. The woman I've loved for so long is capable of things I never imagined. I know I need to confront her about what I discovered, but I'm terrified. I'm afraid of what she might say and what I might learn about her that I don't already know. She sees a therapist, and so do I. On the surface. She seems genuine, but now I'm questioning everything. I don't know what's going on, but I can't pretend everything is fine. At the same time, I can't imagine my life without her. She's been a part of me for so long that losing her feels like losing myself. I'm at a crossroads, unsure of what to do. I don't want to leave her, but I don't know if I can stay either. I'm 37, which isn't old, but isn't young either. I'm not sure I have the strength to start over, and frankly, I don't know if I want to. I just hope that whatever is going on with her, she finds help. If there's any way I can, I'll support her through it. But right now, I'm lost, caught between the love I've always felt for her and the fear of what she might truly be capable of. As I reflect on our relationship, I think about the early years. When we first met, I was captivated by her kindness, intelligence, and the way she made me feel like I was the only person in the world who mattered. We built a life together, filled with shared dreams and aspirations. We supported each other through thick and thin, always believing that we were stronger together than apart. But now that belief is being tested in ways I never anticipated. The thought of confronting her fills me with dread. I don't know how she will react, and I'm afraid of what the conversation might reveal. What if she denies everything? What if she admits it but shows no remorse? I'm not sure I'm prepared to face the reality of what our relationship might actually be. But I also know I can't keep living in this state of uncertainty, constantly questioning her actions and wondering what she's truly capable of. I've considered talking to her therapist or even mine about what I've discovered, but I'm hesitant. I don't want to betray her trust by revealing something so personal without her knowledge. At the same time, I feel like I need help navigating this situation because I don't know how to handle it on my own. I keep thinking back to all the good times we've had together, the laughter, the shared experiences, the way we've always been there for each other. I want to believe that those moments still mean something and are not overshadowed by the darker aspects of her behavior. But every time I remember the journal entry, the way she laughed after the egg incident, or how she used my mother's bracelet as a joke, I feel a knot of fear and uncertainty tightening in my chest. I've tried to rationalize her behavior, telling myself that maybe she's been under a lot of stress or that these are just isolated incidents that don't reflect who she really is. But deep down, I know something is wrong. I know I can't keep ignoring the signs, hoping that everything will go back to the way it was. I need to face the reality of what's happening, no matter how painful it might be. Whatever happens, I know my life will never be the same. The woman I thought I knew, the life we built together, is now shrouded in uncertainty. But despite everything, I still love her and want to believe there's a way forward. I hope we can find a way to heal the wounds that have been opened. Only time will tell if that's possible.